Hello everyone, so this is Law and Order True Crime episode 6, and basically it goes through, the rest of the trial, and that's really it. It just, at the end, the trial's over and it's in the jury's hands, so, anyway, the episode begins with, Erik and Lyle starting, about to take the stand to talk on their behalf, basically. And Erik doesn't really want to, like, say what happened to him out loud in court, and he's having an anxiety attack, because he didn't take his anxiety pills earlier, which I kind of find a little suspect, just because if he's been taking it so far with no problems with missing it, why all of a sudden did he just miss it today or that day? Okay, I mean, just kind of weird that he suddenly forgot to take it today, or that day. Anyway, so they both begin testifying, and Lyle starts, talking about happy memories, like the puppy they had when he was 6, and his mother feeding the birds, and then around the time that he was 6, that's when his father started, getting him into sports and all that. And they both start telling how the abuse started. I'm not gonna explicitly state it, but just that the fact that around the time that Lyle was 6, that this was happening. Lyle then, reveals that the first time he told his mom of what Jose was doing, and that he wanted him to stop, Kitty was like, well, that's how your father's punishing you, and that all fathers do that. And I was just like, girl, what? I mean, what kind of fucked up shit is that? It's just like, girl, what? Who? That's not how a father is supposed to punish his child if he does something wrong. Either, if you believe in spanking, you spank them, or if you believe in timeouts, you put them in timeout. That's exactly what your ass does. Or if you believe in taking something that the child likes to play with, take that away or something. But don't fucking. That's not how you, like, no, girl, what? I'm just like, okay. So then Erik tells what his father told him about. So you heard this conversation before, or at least Erik's talked about this conversation before that he had with his father about him wanting to live on campus at UCLA, and I think this is like the first time we see it in a flashback. And then he goes on to tell what he did afterwards, which is he told Lyle confronted his father and threatens to tell everyone about it, about the Lisa molestation. And then Jose then attacks Erik. Erik tries to tell Kitty, but she's like, I already knew. I knew all this was happening. So Erik then goes to Lyle and is like, well, I'm fearing for my life, man. I'm fearing for my life. And they both eventually say that they fear for their lives. So, so then they plan to kill their parents a couple of days later, after they again feel threatened. So then the prosecution questions them on cross-examination, and they're basically just, questioning their actions after the fact and all of that, like the buying of the new Jeep and the watch and the 911 call and all that stuff. And then on October 26th, Conti testifies, and he describes the symptoms and behaviors of sexual abuse. After defense questions him, Pam then, asks Weisberg to unzip the December tapes. Those are recorded, since the defense basically opened the door with bringing up the brother's mental health just now. And so Weisberg lets the tapes in, or lets the tape in. Then Judalon is questioned by the defense. Prosecution then questions her, and they basically bring up the fact that, well, you always wanted to get married and have kids, right? She's like, yes, but she says, I didn't want them with Ozil. When they question her about whether she wanted them with him or not, and they're like, well, didn't you try to strong arm him into marrying you? And she obviously denies it. So next thing we know, Jamie, Lyle's ex-girlfriend, testifies, saying that Lyle had her research, or asked her research court cases where the defendants were sexually abused as children, or children who were being prosecuted, had brought up the fact that they were sexually molested, and they had gotten off because, I guess because of it. I don't know. Or I guess you could say because of it. So, and that was when she apparently started to doubt his innocence then. No way to really prove that, but okay. So Leslie then, starts questioning her. He's like, well, she also want to point out that when the prosecution was questioning her, she was like, well, I always joked with Erik about how Lyle had a toupee. This I would joke with him about it months before the murders and all that. So Leslie was like, well, I have your timesheet when you worked as a waitress back in 1989, and you worked 6 days a week. So how did you have time? And this was on the East Coast. So like she was working on the East Coast in as a waitress. So she was like, well, how did you have time to fly from all the way on the East Coast back to LA or Beverly Hills to joke about Lyle's toupee if you worked 6 days a week? And she basically says, well, I don't remember, I don't know. Like, okay. Leslie then, questions her about the court case she looked up, and Jamie's like, well, I don't remember the books that I used, specifically. So Leslie points to a book on the table and, picks it up and is like, was it a book like this? And Jamie's like, yeah, it's a book exactly like that. So Leslie's like, well, that can't be true, because this book specifically only holds court cases that ended in a conviction, not an acquittal. So basically, just all around, just like sounds like lying, or trying to backpedal out of being caught in a lie. So then closing statements begin, and then it was just very straightforward, this episode. So there really wasn't all that much that I really needed to take notes on. But one thing that I did like seeing is the fact that the storyline of Leslie and her husband getting the baby that they planned on adopting. Like that's been going on the majority of the season, I want to say. I think if not the entire season. So, but yes, they finally get their baby, and I'm glad to see that, because I need a little ray of sunshine in this whole thing, and that really was really nice to see, because this shit can get dark as hell. Like, after watching SVU for damn near 20 years, or damn near 20 seasons, yes, this shit can get fucking dark as hell, and you kind of need some little lightheartedness and stuff like this. So yeah. So yeah, this is actually a short video today. So, because it really was, really, like I said, it really wasn't all that much to jot down. I thought they would get to the verdict today, or this episode, but I kind of thought so, but I mean, the 2 episodes left. I mean, what can you? So I assume that the verdict is going to be read at I want to say by the end of next episode, because there's only 2 episodes left. So I don't think that they will if they will get to the verdicts early on, it's probably going to be middle of the episode 7 next week. I don't think they will, but they might get to it by the end of next episode. Who knows? Because there really is 2 more episodes left, and they're 45 minutes long. They're not half an hour long, they're 45 minutes. So I don't know how they're going to fill the time if they get to the verdict by the end of next episode, how they're going to fill the entire 45 minutes of episode 8, unless they plan on showing them maybe trying to overturn the convictions, because they have been convicted. I mean, it's no secret they're convicted. They were convicted of it. So unless they sorry about that. There's a city airport nearby, and it's not a major airport. It's one of those little, I guess, very small airports. I didn't think that there was going to be another an airplane taking off like that. So sorry about that. But yeah, so unless they plan on showing the fact that they are trying to overturn the convictions in episode 8, I don't know exactly what they plan on doing, unless the verdict original verdict took a long ass time to come out. Then I don't quite understand what they plan on doing for 2 more episodes. You never know, but yeah. So on to other news. Chicago Fire comes on tonight. I will plan on watching it when it airs tonight, but I'm not gonna put it up tonight. So I'll watch it the first time, and I'll try to take as good of notes as I can while I'm watching it, and then see if I want to put it up for a review tomorrow. Other than that, I think that's it. Oh, I don't know if I said this before, but I found out that Elementary is not coming back on until January. And I heard that episodes have been cut. Their episodes have been cut down quite a bit. They've been cut down quite a bit. Um, like their episodes have been cut to like I think maybe half. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I just only heard that their episodes have been cut since they're starting in January of next year instead of starting in the fall like they usually do. I have an inkling that the reason for their moving it to January is because this is going to be their last season, or their upcoming season is going to be their last season, because the executive producers or whoever is working, whoever the higher ups are at CBS decided to put the second half of season 5 on the Sunday nights after football. So, and their ratings plummeted because of the fact that they put the fucking show right after fucking football, Sunday night football. So, and it either got preempted or it got the half of the show got cut off. So, or if they preempted means that it got cut off, then I'm sorry. But either half the show like the first half of their show got taped over, or their show didn't air at all that night, and so yeah. So yeah, basically they just screwed up their whole. So that's why I think that they're, moving it to January and all that. So yeah. But yeah, I'll definitely do that when it comes back on. I just didn't think that the show was gonna be moved to the show was gonna be the time the premiere was gonna be aired in January. So that, I mean, otherwise I would have done it by now. But yeah, like half of the shows that I wanted to review are starting to air in January, and it's just like, okay, I would have loved the information 30 months ago, but I didn't have the information because they didn't tell you that information until like September, so, or like when everything else came back on, basically. So so yeah, I think I saw something recently about Catfish being taped right now. And I think they might start showing the 7th season soon. I think, I don't know. I have to see, because I have to look more on that, because I don't know for sure. I haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything on their Facebook page, the Catfish Facebook page yet lately. So I'll check that since I'm done with this video, and then get back to you next video. And with that, I will see you guys later.